Hey Grim and Perilous fans, my name is Daniel Fox and I'm the creator of Zweihander Grim and Perilous, a dark, gritty fantasy role-playing game. It's a great alternative to Dungeons & Dragons, with high fantasy and swords and magic, but it's a little more dangerous. It's gritty, it's grim.
It is a price I shall gladly pay.
Full of gallows humor.
Right, I'll do you for that.
And it's dark.
Wagner is defending the way the third episode of season 8 was shot. He says, I know it wasn't too dark because I shot it.
I thought we'd do a video about the best ways to die in Zweihander. That sounds like a fun video, right? So I went to my friends to talk about the ways that their characters have died in Zweihander, or as a game master, the best ways they've killed other characters in Zweihander. Let's take a look.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6 million ways to die.
Let's talk about one of my favorites, and it involves channeling power, which is something you do to make your magic more effective. So, you're casting Trackless Step, a spell because you do not want to leave tracks in the snow. You don't know if anybody's following you, you're not sure, but you want to be safe and you don't want to be embarrassed in front of your allies, so you channel magic. And guess what? Uh-oh, you fail. And uh-oh, you're gonna get a chaos manifestation, so you roll on the generalist and petty manifestation table. It's not going to be too bad, except that you rolled a 100. Oh no, misfortune. Refer to the lesser manifestations table. Boom. So you go to the lesser manifestations table and you roll, oh no, a 98. What does that mean? Refer to the greater manifestations table and boom. Now you're on this table and you roll a 97. Well, what does that mean? You are swallowed by an unearthly mouth into an endless black pit leading into the deepest hells of the abyss. Unless you have a fate point to spend, it's time to roll up a new character.
6 million ways to die.
Hi, I'm Adam Rose, and this is some of the best ways to die in Zweihander. One of my favorite character deaths in Zweihander was a city-based campaign where we were a bunch of outlaws, and we didn't want to reveal our true names to everyone, as that could be used against you should you ever need to go into hiding. I was playing a character by the moniker of Old Man, and the gang was being led by someone that was pretty darn young, and we come across a priest of the god Emperor, and this priest was all decked out and full plate, had a pretty vicious hammer on him, and we just couldn't do anything against him. We were holed up in this building, and so the only way to try and get out of this fight was to run. Our weapons just couldn't get through it. But then he had to say that he would always come after the young rapscallion leader, who was like 15, 17, somewhere around there. An Old Man just couldn't have someone that young with such a powerful character after him. So Old Man decided to strangle this priest in a plume of smoke, so that even if he couldn't do the deed himself, because he was having trouble getting his hands around that gorget, that the smoke would do him in. Well, Old Man needed to breathe too. So after a while, they both died wrestling each other, bitter enemies, not one willing to yield, as they both died in the smoke.
6 million ways to die.
Hey there, Chuck from Defenders of Cobalt, and I wanted to tell you about my favorite way to kill off characters in Zweihander, and that is through the act of bleeding. That's right, you take an injury while unarmored, your character's going to start bleeding, and you have just a very few number of turns. My favorite instance of this is party was trying to stop a petty thug stealing a wagon. The thug killed the initial owner of the wagon, so the party waylaid him. We had a big fighter, tankery character who was standing over this guy, was going to smash his head in, but somehow they missed. So on this, this petty riffraff, this criminal's turn, just stiletto into the inner thigh of one of the characters. It was enough to drop them down. They took an injury, thanks to a misfortune point on my end, and started bleeding out. Died right there in the back of the wagon. Nothing could help them. It was glorious. So yeah, one of my favorite ways to kill off characters in Zweihander is with bleeding. So much fun, so rewarding. It's just fun watching them squirm as their life drains away in just a matter of moments.
6 million ways to die.
Hi, my name is Kay. As far as I don't know if I would call it favorite, but I'll say my most memorable death. This was back in the days when we were doing some beta testing. We questioned a bunch of people in the town, and we ended up leaving the town. And as we were leaving the town, we got ambushed by what must have been like, let's just say, small creatures. And as we walked out of town and the ambush happened, Adam, aka the grim and perilous leader, was doing our GMing, and when he did, he decided to roll against me. So happened to be a rock to my head. And he's notoriously known for either rolling exceedingly well or exceedingly bad, and apparently luck wasn't on my side, as he exploded 4 6s right on my character in the exact first roll of the entire game. Happened to kill my character.
6 million ways to die.
Hi, I'm the Conry from Devil's Luck Gaming, and I'm here to share with you my favorite way for a character to die in Zweihander Grim and Perilous RPG. As the almost perpetual GM, I tend to get to be on the other side of this, so I have particularly gruesome ways that characters can fall that kind of tickle my fancy. But out of all of them, the one that I love the most has to be the Greater Manifestations table. Now I have it right here. And my favorite, specifically, is the Abyssal Maw. When you've pissed off chaos so much that you end up opening a rift into the realm of the abyss, and a greater demon reaches across, snatches you up, and pulls you through to the void so that you can exist in their hellish chaos dimension for the rest of eternity. And it is probably the most theatrical way to go. And, well, when you're playing a spellcaster, play with fire, you get burned. It's got a nice, sweet taste of irony to it. That's my favorite way for a character to go down.
6 million ways to die.
Hi, my name is Mike the Boss Bossler, and this is one of my favorite ways that I've died in Zweihander. So our characters were investigating a group you would probably call gangsters, and we went to their warehouse that they were stockpiling something. We didn't know what it was, but we pretty much figured it was illegal. And what we found was a rather large amount of pyre shot, which is actually a far more dangerous version of gunpowder. And so through a series of unfortunate critical failure events, my character ended up running around with a keg of gunpowder, or this pyre shot, and I think it got shot and then blew up, and which caused then about a third of the city to burn down, because it's kind of like a Greek fire where you couldn't just put water on it to put it out. So it kind of just went until it burned out. And I remember, there was some pretty drastic results of that. So that was probably my favorite death.
6 million ways to die.
All right, I'm here, super excited, talking about the best ways my characters have ever died in a session of Zweihander. So the first one takes you to this old farmhouse, just in the middle of the woods, right up beside an old, field. And the players are coming in, knowing things are really suspicious. They know something's going to happen. They're not 100% sure what. And there he is. Guy shows up with a giant axe, just charges in, and the dice were just hot. We just 6, 6, 6. Dice keep exploding. Takes his head off. They all just tumble down into the stairs. Just a mass grave.
6 million ways to die.
To kind of set up the situation, we were running a campaign that was based off Heart of Darkness, and we're making our way through a war-torn city while being pursued by a rather sizable group of guards. We managed to make our way into a large palace, and we were kind of cornered. We moved all the way up the stairs, and we got to the top. And sure enough, that was, in our minds, the best point in the story to get into an argument about my character, who was the leader, decided to get indecisive about what to do next, because obviously it was a tense situation. And so I got in an argument with another player character, and it ended where the other player character threw me off the edge of the tower. And I landed and pretty much just splatted on the ground.
6 million ways to die.
There's 2 boats, and it's one Inquisition ship and then one just casino boat. All the party members are gambling and everything. And there's just these verbal barbs throwing back and forth. The Inquisition's like, we're coming for you. The player's like, we're not interested in this, right? Finally, the last word, it gets settled. One of the Inquisition soldiers has just a really good crack shot, right? Puts a crossbow bolt straight through the neck of one of my players. He just drops down, bleeds out. It's all over.
6 million ways to die.
My favorite character deaths are the ones where my character dies on their own terms. To set the stage, my character, Herman Kohler, was in a campaign that we eventually established at the end. We had traveled to a cabin in the woods. It was actually a very large manor. And at the end of the campaign, we established this cabin was purgatory. My former wife had been lost forever in this cabin, and we never actually found her in the cabin. We didn't, or the manor. We didn't quite explore the entire place. But at the end of the campaign, Herman decided to continue to research and look into his wife's death, and was lost in time and space for all eternity while searching for his wife.
6 million ways to die.
The last one, the most damage I've ever seen in a session of Zweihander. This one's going way back, so honestly, it's like happened to my brother's character. I was playing, the DM's running for us, and I don't even remember why we were with the barber surgeon. But brother's out on the table, and we're just like standing there, everybody's drinking, and they get ready to go up and start like operating on my brother's character's arm, and DM rolls, we get crit fail. The barber surgeon sneezes, and the doctor just whoop slashes right up his arm long ways, and 39 points of damage, something absolutely insane, burning fortune points just to stay alive. That is grim and perilous adventuring.
6 million ways to die.
And there you have it, the 10 best ways to die in Zweihander. I think I'm ready to go play a grim and perilous game. Won't you join me? Oh, you thought this video is over, right? You're about to log off and do something else? Well, guess what? We get an exclusive sneak peek just for you for a new game powered by Zweihander coming to Kickstarter on October 5th.
It is the dawn of the American Revolutionary War of 1776. A tangled web of conspiracy spans North America. In the war of survival, it does not matter what your creed, color, culture, or gender is. All stand together.
That is how you die, Hander.